In January 2025, Prime Council officially emerged as an organization. But its story began earlier. What started in 2024 as a simple WhatsApp community became a movement, a growing space committed to transforming the mindset, capacity, and leadership posture of young people. By April 2025, that vision was formally established as Prime Council Limited, a UK-based organization with a clear mandate to raise and guide value-driven leaders across every sphere of influence. In January 2025, we hosted our first monthly webinar. By December 2025, we had successfully delivered 12 monthly webinars alongside 3 Instagram Live leadership conversations and 1 dedicated skills training session for our volunteers, equipping both our audience and internal team with tools for growth and execution. Recognizing the need for deeper, personalized transformation, Prime Council expanded its offerings in August 2025 with the launch of the Vision Clarity Call and one-on-one mentorship sessions, providing strategic guidance, accountability, and clarity to individuals navigating purpose, career, and leadership decisions. December 2025 marked a significant milestone. We hosted our first physical training series, the Strategic Positioning Masterclass, in Birmingham, United Kingdom. With over 35 emerging leaders and early career professionals in attendance, the session created an environment of learning, strategy, and transformation, reinforcing Prime Council's commitment to tangible, real-world impact. Behind the scenes, growth was happening as well. Our team expanded fourfold, growing from 2 to 8 dedicated members, significantly increasing productivity, collaboration, and delivery capacity. This growth reflects not just numerical expansion, but a strengthening of systems, structure, and shared vision. Throughout this journey, Prime Council has remained anchored to excellence at global and godly standards, guided by our foundational pillars: impact, influence, income. As part of our commitment to accessible transformation, we also launched our first digital product, the Prime Council Personal Development Guide, now available on our website. This resource serves as a practical framework for individuals seeking clarity, structure, and intentional growth. Prime Council is more than an organization. It is a platform, a pipeline, and a purpose-driven movement. And this is only the beginning.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Can you just let me know where you're joining us from, your name, where you're joining us from? So good to have you join me live in another session. Just want to know where you're joining me from the UK, from Canada, from Nigeria. Yes, we're also live on TikTok also. So just hello to my audience on TikTok. We're on Instagram also. So nice to have everyone join. Just want to know see your name, where you're joining us from before we kickstart today's session. It's gonna be hot this evening. I've got my fan here, so okay, I can see Festus and Bosse from Nigeria. Right? Yes. We're also on live on Instagram also. We're also live on Instagram and live on TikTok. Okay. We're going to be speaking about unlocking your genius status in 2026. I'm so excited to speak about this topic. I'm just going to give 1 or 2 minutes for some of our audience to join. If you have not done so, I want you to share the links with your friends and families before we lock up. It's going to be a lockdown this evening. Yes, just your name and where you're joining us from. All right. Last session we had, it was so extensive. I think it was about two, and that was our record session. 2.5 hours. It was really intense. I just hope we got the maximum value from that session. I just hope everyone have a sense of vision. They have it written down, and not just that, they're acting on it. We're gonna fly again to the next level this evening, which is unlocking your genius status in 2026. So just giving 1 or 2 minutes for those that want to are joining us from Instagram, TikTok. Can the admin just confirm that we're live on Instagram and TikTok? Yes. Good evening to my audience on Instagram. I can see you, Michael. I can see King Dave. I can see my youth pastor, Pastor Muiwa. Thank you for joining. And let me check on my TikTok audience. We've attempted to go on TikTok for some time now. So it has been so difficult. The logistics, the back and forth, the approvals, but finally we got that sorted and we're live on TikTok now. I just want to say hello to my audience on TikTok. Can the admin confirm? Just give me a text that we're live on TikTok. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining our monthly webinar at Prime Council. I want to say a special thank you to my team members at Prime Council for putting this up together. We can't do anything without it, a maximum team that's putting in their capacity. So thanks to them, and thank you to my audience that watch me live on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, for joining our webinars monthly, for joining the Instagram live, and we're going on TikTok live. Thank you very much. And the most important thing I want to assure you is that as you keep on joining these webinars, definitely the result you want to see in terms of moving your life from surviving to thriving is definitely going to manifest. And today again, we're going to be speaking about unlocking your genius status in 2026. I have a few things written down. Just gonna set the pace before we get into the moment. And if you have not done so, I want you to get your notepad, your pens, because there will be instructions, there will be key actions, there will be things that you need to write down that you can later implement. The first point I want us to notice the difference between ordinary individuals and high-performing individuals, geniuses like you call them, is not just necessarily the access that they've got, and not necessarily the opportunities, their background, their country. The most important differentiation between an ordinary person and a genius is awareness. Awareness. And of course, you trust me that I'm a good pilot. I'm driving this plane tonight, and I'm gonna lead us to a very good end by the end of this session. So the first point I want us to notice is that what makes up a genius and a mediocre person, an ordinary person in an entity, is not necessarily about the advantages, but the sense of awareness. More specifically, awareness of your genius status. Now I'm already flying tonight, so I want you to follow me at my pace. Remember, when you come to a class, there's a part whereby the teacher comes down to the student level, which is fine. But on night school like this, on webinars like this, I want you guys to come into my train of thought. I want to call you up either into a higher form of reasoning. So the first point we've established is that awareness is what differentiates a genius and a mediocre person. Just awareness, knowledge of surroundings. But what kind of awareness? Awareness of your internal capacity, genius. That's your unique element and advantage. Look at that. And not just that, many people stop at awareness, so they make proclamations. Oh, I am great. I'm the best, which is good to know that you're the best. But you have to be able to put in the work like the best. So you need discipline to refine the value. Because the first point we've emphasized is that it's not about your background. It's not about your upbringing. It's not about the leverages you've got. So ideally, it's primarily about your choice. And you will know that we have many established truths in our monthly life webinars, like choices supersedes prophecies, supersedes background, supersedes your lot in life. Your choices is so important. So now we need awareness, number one, to be able to know that that's good. I'm a genius. But you don't just stop at that acceptance of it. You continue to the discipline of refining your value. And for many of you that have, joined my sessions, my one-to-one sessions, my coaching sessions, you would have heard me say that it's not just enough for you to say, I don't know. Do you know our world today is filled with many I don't knows? Or I don't know how to do this. Because people will say something like, you have to be, humble. You have to be truthful. You have to be innocent. Express yourself. And they ask you a question, for example, and say, oh, what is the name of that dog? You say, I don't know. That's the first state of awareness, acceptance of your ignorance, number one. But many people stop there. And that's where mediocre people stop. The genius decides that, yes, I don't know this. I'm ignorant in this. What do I do to fill up that ignorance and knowledge gap? So don't just stop at awareness or the ignorance of it. What are you doing to bridge that gap? So I'm saying here that the first point is awareness of your unique identity, but also the discipline to be able to refine it into marketable value that makes you a genius. Because think about it. There's a point whereby you accept that you're a genius internally. I'm a genius. But you must get to a point in time that the world accepts you as a genius. You can't say, I'm a rich man, you don't have any money. Yes, you can say, I'm a rich man in terms of your mindset. But there must be a time whereby people must meet money in your pockets. You must be able to spend money to prosecute life. Many people are caught up in that delusion of awareness of who they are, but they are not acting out who they are. Are we following me, guys? I want us to engage. I want us to engage in a session this evening. The key point that stands out to you, I want you to type it on a comment. So the first point is awareness of your unique identity, of your element, of your advantage, but also the discipline to refine it into marketable value. Look at a particular scripture. Psalm 49 verse 20 says something very, very important. A man that is in honor and knows not is like the beast of the field that perish. Remember, guys, that last month we spoke about achieving vision, and I emphasized 3 core truths there: that salvation, vision, and identity have got the same spiritual quotient. Then why did I say so? Because they've got the same consequence, which is perishing. If you are not saved, you will perish. Where there's no vision, the people perish. But the third point I emphasized last month, that's what we're going to speak about majorly this evening, which is identity. A man that is in honor and knows not is like the beast of the field that perishes. There are many people that God has called to live a life of honor, but they are perishing. Not because God wants it, but because they don't know. The Bible said in Psalm 82 verse 6, they know not. Neither do they understand. They walk on in darkness. Have I not said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High God, but ye shall die like mortal men, because you don't have a sense of identity. You can't awaken the genius in you. It's very important for us to emphasize this. We can't say, now it looks like Coach Ayo, as it sounded like a broken record. He always talks about identity, about vision, about purpose, about choices, about greatness, about responsibility, about excellence. These are the key metrics. The Bible says you can do nothing for the truth but for the truth, against the truth but for the truth. That's the truth. Our world today is filled with lies, propagandas. But I'm here to tell you the truth. If you don't have that sense of identity, you cannot unlock the genius in you. All over the globe, billions of people are perishing because of the lack of discovery, number one, and projection of their true identity. So you can discover your true identity. You know who you are. But does the world know who you are? Perception management is really important. You have to project it. The Bible says, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works. That they may see your good works and bring glory to God. It's really important. I know many people want to live a life of glory, of splendor, of honor. Nobody wants to live a life of mediocrity, of poverty. Nobody hates himself that much to say, no, I want to be poor. But because of people's choices, because they don't discover themselves, they can't project their true identity to the world mistake their identity and give them a false identity. For you to achieve your vision, which we spoke about last month, achieving your vision, and many people ran with that, and I got a lot of comments and feedbacks. In fact, I had to do more sessions on achieving visions. That was really, really remarkable, because we spent over 2.5 hours speaking about achieving your vision in 2026. This is February. The year is still young. You want to run with this false sense of identity, achieving that vision. It's going to be so impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a certain kind of person you must become to achieve those visions you've written down. Identity. The world doesn't want you to know this. There are many people that ought to be here on this live stream. They're not here because the world has conditioned them to live out a false identity. Now, very, very important. 2026 presents a different reality. It's a different reality. It's a difficult reality. Follow my discourse. The global landscape is shifting at an unprecedented level and pace. There is the conversation on artificial intelligence. It's if you're not visionary, if you're not prophetic, then you're mediocre. But if you're visionary, if you can see into the future, like I said, vision is seeing what others have not seen but will see. Now that you have written down your vision, you can see that for those visions you've written down, those goals you've written down, there's a very big enemy that, if not checkmated, can hinder your visions and goals. The AI conversation. We're in the AI revolution. It's reshaping industries. I said it in one of the webinars, I think last 7 months or so. Like AI is going to lead to the advent of AI will lead to pressure on religion, because people will begin to question the dependence in God. Because now, ChatGPT, for example, and all of those apps can give you things that, supposedly compete with the wisdom of God. And there's no competition, I know that. But in terms of access, we were thinking about it. Oh, I need wisdom from God. I have to pray. I have to fast. I could just go on ChatGPT and put a prompt there, and it gives me all what I need for wisdom. It's false, isn't it? But that's what it presents. That's what the world is presenting to us. That is an alternative to the true God. It's going to give pressure to immigration, because there will be loss of jobs, mass migration of jobs, not just from third world countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, but from first world countries also. So it will be interloop, emigration and immigration. And I said it, that's an opportunity for those in third world countries to position themselves, because many of you as young people, as Gen Zs, will be working with Caucasians, white counterpart, and I said, are you positioning yourself? That means you should not have a cultural mindset and belief system. Have you checked the number, the statistics of Nigerians alone in the UK? Millions of people. Talking about even Africans or Black Africans. That's the world we live today. It's a compressed global village. Because AI will put pressure on jobs, on traditional skills and education, there'll be lots of jobs. And it's going to be so difficult because without AI, look at the gross poverty, not just in third world countries, even in the UK, in the US. They're confused. They're confused. Information is abundant. There's a lot of information, chat everywhere. There's information. Everyone is doing content now. But does that really change life? Think about it. Is it the abundance of information that changes life? No. Competition is borderless. Now, I was working with my website designer. He's in Nigeria. It's borderless. I don't have to work with a UK web designer. In my company, for example, most of the tech roles are outsourced in India because of cheap labor. So I can imagine someone going to study a course in tech, for example, in the UK. Is that being positioned well? I'm not saying no, but are you thinking about it as a visionary? Because they are outsourcing cheap labor, not just my company, the global companies from India is cheaper there. Visibility is democratized. Now there's the algorithm issue. Instagram, for example, is not pushing valuable content. They want funny reels and videos and trends, but transformative videos, carousels will not be pushed. And I was speaking to my cohorts because we have the Prime Emerging Leaders cohort, which started, I think, last Sunday. I was telling them that, do you know that the algorithm knows more about you than you know about yourself? No wonder you put into the prompt, you watch a video, they give you 100 of it. They know what you want. They know how you think. Systems engineering, mindset engineering. But guess what? You as your own entity, you don't even know yourself. A man that is in honor and knows not will perish like the beast in the field. What does perishing means? You'll be at a low level of life. You're going to be seeing my discourse. You'll be at a low level of life. In such an environment, being talented is not enough. I'm going to be giving you that distinction between talent and genius. It's not longer enough. You can't say, oh, my boss say I'm talented. No. Being hardworking is no longer, everyone is hardworking, doesn't set you apart. I did a video some time ago. It's not about handwork. You know, there was a time whereby handwork was what thrived, what trended. Now we move to handwork. We move to brain work, go to school, get your degree, work in a company. But those that are ruling the world today are not just hard workers, are not just brain workers, they are mind workers. Think with their mind. Because the mind is the center of innovations and possibilities. For example, Elon Musk, now there's a conversation on going to the moon. Do you think about it? And I said it, I did a drama on what it means to be able to wake up in the morning and say, we're going to the moon. What do you need? Like, think about, like, moon where? Well, that's where the human mind has gone to. But guess what? An average generation Z, for example, say, oh, we don't read books, so they read, just put it to us. I want to put it in stories and tell a story. Oh God, you're gonna be a mediocre. You can't read a book. I have books here. You can't read a book. 100 pages, you can't read a book. How are you going to become a genius? There's an adage that says that if you want to keep an information from the black man, for example, put it in a book. That should not be a good narrative. The new differentiator is being a genius. You have to be a genius. Exceptional. Unpredictable. Not accidental brilliance. No. Not random creativity. But cultivated, positioned, and executed genius. Look at that. Cultivated. It has to be intentional. A farmer cannot just expect harvest without planting. That's what many people are. They expect a great life. They expect a problem-free life without putting in the effort. It's not intentional. You have to be positioned. I've been doing videos on personal development, personal branding. People hear this like, okay, that guy is trying this. That's the point. Many of the people, look at that. I told you guys in one of the videos that your parents were ruled by predators, by dictators, by wicked politicians. They complained. You saw how they suffered. Guess what? You thought it was going to stop because you were better. You thought, oh, my parents were not really smart. I've got degree, I can also, I'm young. Guess what? The children of those that rule over your parents are already preparing to rule over you. Continue there. The rich rules over the poor. I saw a certain minister in Nigeria parading his son now. He's parading him. Not because he likes to parade. No, it's intentional. He's growing him to be a public person, a stakeholder. The Bible said something in Galatians 4 verse 1. An heir, as long as he remains a child, differs not from a servant, even though he be Lord over all, but is put under tutors and teachers until the time of appearing. What does that mean? The father, an intentional father, puts a child that he knows is going to be mighty, is going to be a genius, under mentors, under coaches. And I've been saying it. You can't say you want your child to be a genius, exceptional, great into this world, and you will not invest in them for coaching and mentorship. Not just what you teach them. I can teach them. No, you don't have the time. Guess what? You have traditional skills and knowledge. Get them with people that are par with today's world. Get them to book Vision Private Call with Coach Ayola. You will not do that. You're thinking, oh, okay, I can teach them. You can't meet up with the parent. You see how you're struggling as a parent. Those people, they pull them in institutions. Harvard, this global institution, they pay thousands of dollars, but you can invest $100, $200 in your child, but you want the child to be able to take a family out of poverty. No, it's what you sow that you reap. To be executed, you have to take actions. Yes, I thank you for joining the Achieving Your Vision webinar last month, but that's not going to do me any good. Remember, I've said it here. They are the first beneficiary of your success. You're the first beneficiary. If you make it in life, if God touches your heart, you remember Coach Ayola, but you're the first beneficiary first of your success. But guess what? You're the first victim of the consequences of your action. Genius is not merely about IQ, because people speak about intelligence quotients. That guy is very intelligent. The world doesn't necessarily, yes, you should be intelligent as a requirement. You should be smart and intelligent. But we have many smart, dumb people. Have you not heard of that phrase in the Bible? The poor wise man. The poor wise man. That means, despite the wisdom, poverty can still coexist. Yes, it can coexist. I did a write-up, I think 2 years ago, on how wisdom doesn't stand alone. Wisdom and knowledge, wisdom and understanding, wisdom and grace, wisdom and riches, also wisdom and poverty. It's deeper than IQ. It's the intersection between clarity. Look at the emphasis there, and I want us to note that down. Clarity, depth, pattern recognition. You have to be able to, like I said, vision is seeing what others will see, but have not seen. If they see first before you, you cannot take ownership of it. You cannot gain control over it. And the best case scenario is that you'll be subject to the system. You work under the system. If I found a company, can I become yes, I can become an employee for structure's sake. But come on, who calls the shots? Discipline and courage. It's the ability to see what others overlook. connect what others separate, and execute where others hesitate. Do you know what has been amazing me with the fact that many people around me are literally seeing me build and just watching. Oh, nice trying. Okay, but let us like is coming today. You sit down there. You sit down there. I've seen all this. I've seen this thing play out years ago. I know why it plays out. That's why I'm not waiting for any friend, any loved one to believe it. No. You are the first guinea pig of your conviction. You're the first guinea pig. You're the first believer of your conviction. You can't wait for them. They don't believe in me. Okay, my friends, they don't like me. They don't repost. They don't share. I'm discouraged. Sit down there. I think they don't have their own life. Guess what? People connect to you when they see that you don't necessarily need them. That's the human psychology. Genius is insight combined with responsibility. That's intelligence or action. You have to act out your mindset. That's it. I've used many scenarios here. Wisdom and stature. Luke 2 verse 62. And Jesus Christ increased in wisdom and stature. And I've said many people like to portray that stature because that's what is external. But if you want to really be a builder, invest in wisdom, which is the books, knowledge, history, and all of that. But also stature, your appearance, your communication, perception management. It's both of that. You can't say you're a genius and you're on rags. No. I said it many times. That yes, I don't want to wear, I don't even like wearing suits. I just want to be free. Look at you. Look at you. So ignorant. All these guys, footballers, all these tech guys, the tech guys, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, when they go to Silicon Valley to work, that's their domain now. They can wear jeans, they can wear rags. But when they are going to White House to get billions of dollars contracts, getting licenses, they go on suits. Have you not seen the videos at the swearing in of Donald Trump? They were all on suits, bow tie. Or you speak about footballers. Oh, they can wear crazy jeans and they are going to Ballon d'Or to collect award. What do they wear? They wear suits. You don't have a second chance to make a first impression. If you've lived your whole life as a mediocre, it takes a lot of effort to not say I'm not a genius now. You must start now as a young person. For all those that joined life on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, you have to start your journey to becoming a genius now. It's an identity. And there's a misconception that genius is reserved for a gifted few or talented elite. No. It's your choices. In today's world, we have beggars that just imagine. We have princes that are walking on barefoot and servants, slaves riding on horses. That's the irony of today's world. You can change your lot. You can change your lot. What's talent? Natural ability. Everyone is born with a talent. It's the ease at which you do something well. You are born with it. It's an inherent attribute. That's talent. But being genius is acquired attribute. You acquire it. You're not born with being a genius. No. If you're born with talents and you don't develop it, you don't refine it, you are going to be mediocre. But talent on its own is raw and underdeveloped. Talent, people have got talent. It can remain ordinary if not refined. Like crude oil. It's not refined. It can't become petrol. It can't become diesel. It can't. But genius is talent that is deeply understood, number one, that has been refined through discipline and positioned strategically. Is the ability to think differently, see patterns, solve higher problems. Quit solving low-level problems. You solve low-level problems, you get low-level reward. Play big. Think global. was the guarantee that we'll hold SPM Masterclass last year in December? We started the brand in 2025, just less than 1 year. We had about 35 people that paid a paid session. People were asking me, how did you do it? I had to unlock genius status in me. It's always in you. But it's your decision, it's your choice to decide if you want to settle for less. The company that you're reading book for, yes, you're going to school for, it's not a spirit that founded the company. It's a human being like you. A scripture just came to mind now. Jacob in the Bible. He went to his uncle's house, Laban, in the Bible. And he served there for, I think, 20 years plus or so. He served twice, I think 7 years for wives. His choices. Bad decision, by the way. Why? He didn't have the exposure. The Bible said Jacob lived in tents. No exposure. And I've said you have to get exposed. Go out. So he was naive. He made the wrong choices. And he had to serve another, I think, 7 years to be able to get freedom. But guess what? He was redeemed. He was able to recover all. He had so much sheep and goats and all of that. But he got to a point, he said something. He told Laban, he said, I need to live here. I need to live not because I'm not contented, but because I'm not fulfilled. I'm not fulfilled. He said, when will I go and have my own? That's where I'm getting to, my own. You cannot be a genius when you're under a structured system, because you must need another person to validate you. No. What about if your boss does not validate you? Does that mean you're not a genius? No. Why are you waiting for your boss? Does that mean you should go and quit your job? No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying before you get old, because you have productive years, there will be a time you can't walk. The Bible said, I must walk the works of him that have called me while it is day. For a time comes when no man can walk. We've seen from history that it's not about people not having opportunities, but many people did not build. They didn't build legacy. They didn't build institution. They didn't build their children. In their old years, they suffered. I told one of my mentees in the court session, I said, you've got a daughter. Don't just say you want to be an entrepreneur, business. No. Build your daughter. Bible says something, Psalm 127. It says, children are the heritage of the Lord. The fruit of the womb is reward. As arrows are in the eyes of the mighty man, so are the children of your youth. Of your youth. There's a certain age you get to, you're not youthful again. You cannot put in the best in your children. Continue there. Don't be serious and get settled, get married, rear a family. Pastor Adeboye, he said something that I read in the Open Heavens some month ago. He said one of the reasons why they can focus on ministry because they got married early. But for me, I say on time, because it doesn't say about being early. It's not about going to rush. But marry in the time window. They call it window of opportunity. That's why it's window of opportunity, because it can close. If you're a guy, you're 25, and you're not yet serious with your life, you're still there, they're still chasing you, you're on the long walk to freedom. So he got married early, and they were able to focus on ministry. Because they were able to focus on ministry, look at the exploits. But imagine he had to start taking care of children in his 50s, in his 40s. That would be distraction. He said, as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are the children of your youth. He said, they shall speak with the enemies at the gate. That's where I'm getting to. Who's going to speak with the enemies at the gates when you're at home resting as an old man? Or parents that are here this evening, who's going to speak at the gates? Defend your legacy. There's an adage in Yoruba that says that if you don't train a child and you build houses, is that child that will destroy and sell the houses that you use your life to build. And that's what's happened to Africa. I have a message for the African race, which I didn't cover at the last month's webinar. I'm going to cover it before we end this evening. Your employer will rather have you talented rather than being genius. That's it. I found this. No one told me. This was this evening revelation. I was thinking. They say, Victor is very good. Ayo is very good. But they won't give you what can make you better in terms of, maybe not better, but every human being is generally selfish. They will sort of train you to make you more efficient for themselves, not to make you independent of them. Nobody can lift you above themselves. Are we having the key points here? I want to see that we have key points. I want to see them. I want to see the key points that we are taking note of on Instagram. I just checked Instagram now. Thank you, my youth pastor, for always joining. I can see lots of my audience. I can see Faithful. I can see Dami. I can see Tochi. Thank you for joining. Let's continue. 2026, so different. The game is different in 2026, guys. Think about it. It's different. Think about the sustainability of your future. Average thinking will struggle. You can't be average. Let me just be existing. Let me just manage. Surface level ambition will collapse. Noise will increase. It's everywhere now. Trends on rape apologists. Then there's the election, this thing. Then in the UK, there's the protests. It's noise. It's systemic engineering to distract you from your major goal, your life. Like I said, the algorithm knows more about you than you know about yourself. You check something on your phone now, it will be on your Instagram. One time I was checking something on my Instagram. I saw it on my YouTube channel. I said, what is this? This is the world we live in. Competition will intensify. The individuals who will rise are not just merely talented, they are mentally structured. They are positioned strategically, internally awakened to their unique design. And that's the core of my message. I've been getting people to create. What have you there? I think I have it there. Our parents lived in the job economy. I'm getting there now. Our parents lived in the job economy. Then over the past 10 years, we're in the gig economy, contract, remote job, working. Now, you can work remote jobs and still be as stressed as someone that's in the office, that's doing 9 to 5 or 12 or 9 to 12 hours shifts. Because there is no autonomy, there is no ownership, there is no control. We're in the creators economy now. That's what we're in now. You have to create, you have to build if you want to sustain your future. Like Jacob, there must be something that is for you, no matter how little. No matter how little. Internally awaken to your unique design. There's something that God has called you to come and do on this side, not to come and work, not a job, a purpose. But you can't get to that point if you spend your whole years on survival, looking for tea and bread, clothing and shelter, and you struggle to send your child, and you put the burden on your child to raise a family out of poverty. The child is already starting from negative, not even zero, because he has to first take care of you first. I'm speaking to parents now. So I said, discovering your innate advantage, refining it through disciplined development, mentorship. As I'm a coach like this, as Coach Ayola, I'm a mentee to great and global coaches and mentors. I pay thousands of dollars and pounds. Not because it's not on the internet, but higher level of thing. See, how do I put it now? Saul in the Bible, he was going to, I think, arrest David, and David ran into the house of Prophet Samuel. Saul went there, he began to prophesy. If you come into the midst of prophet, you prophesy. That's energy level. So I've been speaking to people, get involved with me, not just because I'm an hero, no, but because you want to be able to be connected with that kind of energy level that sponsors what we are doing. It's an energy level. We are doing Instagram Live next Monday. On YouTube Live, we have SPM coming up. Many things. I'm doing many things. I'm laying that because I'm inside a system that they are doing greater things. Think I'm there with you on Instagram. No. You have to pay for these things. God forbid that I go ask somebody on this earth, do you have free book? Give me the book to read. David said something. You read about Psalm, but you don't see the behind the scene, the unspoken rules. King David said, "I will not give unto the Lord what will not cost me." Cain and Abel, they both gave, but one costed one than the other, and God took note of that. He said something to Cain: "If you did well, won't you be accepted? You want maximum result, you are putting in minimum effort and inputs." That's calm now. Life will reward you. Life is a very serious judge. Positioning when it commands value. You have to be positioned. I think I wrote it somewhere there, down there. No man light a candle and put it under the bushel. But guess what? In today's world, it's an aberration. We have many people with light, but unfortunately, they're under the bushel, hiding. And those that don't have light are portraying darkness. That's why they said, be careful so that what you call light be not darkness. All about the world today, what we call light is false light. Execution with bold precision. Look at the way I'm speaking. I used to be so shy. Even up until when I came to the UK at Hertfordshire, I could not present in the front of, I think, 6 people. I'll be shaking like this. Look at you. Think I was always born as a confident speaker. I knew that is either I remain shy or I remain mediocre. I have to pick one. There's no stage that I cannot speak at. There's no stage. Not that there will not be fear or anxiety, but the joy. Look, the Bible said, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him said, no, he could withstand that. I will face anybody because I cannot live a mediocre. I've signed that deal. God forbid I end up a mediocre, an average person. The world does not need more average participants. So it needs refined thinkers, disciplined executors, value-driven leaders, like the ecosystem. We did it in biology. The lowest on the supply chain, on the food chain, gets eaten first. Why are you now thinking low? Why do you want to remain low? They'll get rid of you first in the boardroom if they're trying to downsize. So why don't you want to be in the decision-making room? Why are you in the comment section typing on Mazitunde odd notes? The fastest way to mediocrity is to be on the comment section. The longest and better way to be impactful is to be in the policy room. That one is much more stressful. Every day I check Instagram, there's always one thing going on. People are talking. Nobody's hearing you. Leave that place and go on. You can go there to be aware. Of course, you have to be aware of your environment, but not for who cares about. Look at all the protests they've made in Nigeria. What changes did they make? I told them, I'm saying it now. They're already prepping their children to rule over you the same way their parents ruled over your parents. Continue. Sit down there. Sit down there. I will not be ruled over. I will not be ruled over. I had it in the last sentence. I said, even if worst case scenario, I can't become a genius. For one reason or the other, a genius must come out of me. And I told my daughter, I said, I thank God for the opportunity for me to be your father. But before I die, you must say it that you thank God that Coach Ayo is my dad. Because of the kind of leverage. Parents, get serious with your children. I'll get there to the message for the black race, because those are the fundamental issues. Because now, these genius questions I'm talking about, the first awareness starts from the parents, from the family. It's not even for society. Are you not sowing words of encouragement, of confidence, of love to your children? You want them to just elevate you from poverty. I'm speaking to parents now. Restricting your children from exposure out of care and safety net. No. Bible said, no chastening of the present seem good. I said, anyone that the Father loves, he chastens. You have to expose them to risk. Yeah, you keep them. Would they forever be with you? As a parent, would they forever be with you? Impact them with values. Those values will be like gates around them that will not allow them deviate from your principles and legacy. It's not about micromanaging and check your phone, this and that. No. Gen Zs are smart. Parents, wake up. They are smart. And the system that is fighting against them is smarter than you. You have to wake up. And what do you have to do? Outsource some of your mentorship and trainings to people that can spend time with them. You are doing 30 minutes, 1 hour, then you sleep up on the chair, you say, I'm tired. When you could pay. But you don't want to do that. You want to build house. The house. Who will outlive that legacy? Nobody. However, most people would never unlock their genius status, unfortunately, because they confuse activity with advancement. I've met many people and they say, what are you working on? Just because they want to convince me so that I will not really treasure them. They'll not say, I'm working on this, I'm doing that. It's not about me. Everybody has got his life to live. Many people are stuck in useless activities that is not moving them forward. They chase trends instead of studying themselves. And I have a story here. I was speaking to my mentee yesterday in our last session, and he started speaking about movies in Nigeria, and he spoke about Funke Akindele, and he was speaking. I was talking at him. He was speaking about Jennifer Diaries and all of those. I think some of those people, I've forgotten the names now. Now, yeah, one thing and I said, you know what? And I showed him my book, but the book is here. And I said that Funke Akindele that you are watching and enjoying their dancing videos, their funny videos to promote their own movies. She organized a master class on the behind the scene of what makes her the creative blueprint. I have it here. And I showed him 2 pages of book of note that I wrote down. I went to watch it. You are busy watching movies. Some people are busy watching the back end of what makes those movies. And also I said, you know what? You continue feasting on junks. Check the back end. All the people that you see, skit makers, they are more, you think they are unserious, they'll wear cross, they'll wear different clothes. They are so strategic. They're not about business, they're not about leverage. You're thinking, oh, this one is even not refined with an useless phone. You have to be shameless to push your ambition. That's what they are doing. And you are watching them be entertained. As if maybe you're entertainment sick. Chasing trends. Told him, you can continue watching the movies. I've never watched any of those movies that they released. But when I see knowledge, I go for it. Wow, creative blueprint. So it's on YouTube there. She had the 2.0 of recent. Watched it. I took down notes and I showed him some of the things she said there are what we're implementing at Prime Council. I learned from Funke Akindele. I don't learn from only apostles and pastors. Because she's a genius in her own game. In the movie industry in Nigeria, nobody comes near her. That's worth learning. But you would rather see her and see her for a movie producer, not for an inspiration. Now look at this. To unlock your genius status in 2026, the first shift must occur internally. I've said it, identity. And I cannot go in depth more than this because this will not be fair for those that have paid for my mentorship cohorts. We discussed on that last Sunday, 2 hours 30-minute session. It was explosive. My house was shaking yesterday, I think on Sunday. My wife was like, she was in the room, she was like, wow. I said no. They paid for it. Of course, I always over-deliver. You must get this point of identity. For they that do know their God shall be strong. In the midst of, in between knowing their God and strength, there is identity. You have to know how strong you are. I know what I can do. Nobody can come and tell me who I'm not now at this level. Nobody on earth can come and downplay me. The Bible said, I was speaking to one of my younger mentees. I said, let no man despise the youth. It's in the Bible there in 2 Timothy. When a world where they will despise your creativity, they will despise your ambition. They will say, oh, you see they do too much, oh. They calm down, oh. What? A visionary coming down. Your mate are going to the moon. What are you doing? Something small. But because they want to limit you to their own belief system. I wrote a carousel. I think I saw it. I don't know if it's gone out. About advice. It's not about advice. Receive every advice, but don't act on every advice. You can receive, listen. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support, your care. But you can't take every advice. Because most advice will come from the standpoint of their revelation, of their knowledge of that particular topic. If I receive all the advice I got, even from loved ones, I won't be in the UK today. I'll be in Unilag. I applied. They say apply for Unilag. Apply for Unilag. Up to today, they've not applied me. That's what I'll be with now. You must transition from imitation to identity. Many individuals are operating from borrowed ambition, rented convictions. They pursue goals inherited from culture, from their family, from social media. Genius cannot emerge where identity is unclear. You have to get this point of identity. You have to get it. Look at something. Your genius is not discovered in comparison. It is revealed in introspection, internal work. It requires silence, reflection, ruthless honesty about your strengths, your weaknesses, your inclination, and patterns of excellence. Your genius leaves clue. I didn't just wake up to become a personal development coach. I've been doing this all my life. Always giving sound counsel and wisdom to even people other than me. That was in 2024. I had to sit down and ask myself, what do I really want to do? And that's why I started the journey. I called HMR. I said, I've told you my story. I said, block the access to this extra shift. That even if brokenness want to let me go and get this extra shift, they've blocked it. I can't go. I have to settle down with destiny. That's what I have find counsel. Because the more I went to those places, yes, I earned money, yes, 300 pounds, 200 pounds, but in terms of impact, you are far behind. When I go to those words, I feel less anointed. Someone says, oh, go do this. Go. You don't have any control. You just go there like a sheep going to the slaughter. Am I saying that if that's what you're doing is wrong? No, but you have to decide that if that's who you are, if that's what you want, fine. It shows up in what energizes you. I can speak for 5 hours, for 10 hours. I've spoken for 10 hours before. God is my witness. I've spoken for 10 hours before. 5 hours conversation, it takes nothing because it's inside. It's like a reservoir. That's me. I'm a coach. What about you? It appears in the problem naturally solved. Wisdom comes to me naturally. I could just be there and an inspiration comes to me. And I have to write them down. And I'm like, wow. Then I go online. I see a great person, an apostle, a leader speaking about it. I'm like, wow, this is what I was talking about. I was writing about. No, I cannot neglect the gifts. I said, neglect not the gift that was given, that's put upon you by laying on of hands at the presbytery. Neglect not the gifts. Many of you are neglecting your giftings in a chase for survival, in a chase for approval, in a chase for acceptance. And I said it that on the first point, yes, you'll be accepted. You need approval, but you need awareness first and discovery. At the first thing, awareness of your identity, of your true purpose and calling first. You don't need anyone for that. You need yourself. Sit down with your book, with your Bible. Begin to find yourself. Ideas, visions, revelation. As you proceed, then you begin to get to that stage of approval. Bible said, study to show yourself approved unto God. That's Jesus Christ there. Increasing with some man's stature. But it got to a point, Bible said, this is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Hear ye him. He was approved of God. And what happened? The next verse, Bible said, all men seek for thee. Acceptance by your word. That's what I've said it many times. But you are chasing acceptance. You want approval before you become aware of who you are. No. It manifests in the conversations where you become unusually sharp. Some people are so good with designs. You're a creative director. That's what you should be. You're not a painter. You're a creative director. You're a creative designer. You bring strong concept to life. They need you in Silicon Valley. They need you. but you have to position yourself there. You're a genius. You're not looking for a job. I've said it. You don't need a job. You bring value. You bring value. I was speaking to somebody. The person paid me money for my service. Meanwhile, the person family member was asking them for money and they got nothing. But they were begging me to take the money. I said, I can't take it. They said, no, take it. Wow, the difference is value. But that value came from the sense of awareness that no, I could be a blessing. Now, recognition alone is not sufficient. Can I see some comments? Can I see some comments from YouTube, from TikTok? I want to see some comments just to know that you're following me. I don't want to skip anyone. Recognition alone is not sufficient. Raw genius is fragile. Without refinement, it remains potential, like a talent. Without discipline, it remains invisible. Now, the second point is you must move from talent to mastery. 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 He that must strive for mastery is temperate in all things. Say, forgetting those things which are behind. I press mastery. Look at Lionel Messi, for example. They call him the god of football. He's mastered the game. They know what to do to get the results done. In 2026, surface level competence will not command influence. Depth will. I want to see the comment. I want to see the comment that comes to you. Of course, by now, I don't want you to be lazy audience anymore. I don't want you to be lazy audience. You have to say not just what I'm saying. In fact, let me tell you how to read. There are people that read book and read and just, this is what the person is saying. No, the best way to read the book, to study, is to see what the person is saying, but what are you saying? What is your knowledge gotten from that? That's your own revelation. So you don't read books to just have mental assents, but a function of your revelational questions. So I want to see the comments. I want to see what you're getting from what I'm saying. That's what stays with you. That comes inside you. What I'm saying, I'm pouring inside you. But what stays with you for life is what comes from you. You can't be lazy audience and just watching. No, you have to engage. It's really important. I was in a session yesterday with my mentor, and he said it. Some of people are lazy on there. And I was like, that's really true. You have to engage. And I was like, wow, I have to tell this to my audience. You have to engage. Mastery requires sustained focus in an age of distraction. It requires long-term thinking in a culture addicted to instant gratification. I've said that my friend told me, I spent £9,000 on Uber in 4 years. I was like, wow. I went to talk about it. The difference between you and Uber is long-term thinking. So they rather take your £10, £5, £3 over 4 years and get £9,000 in 4 years. But you're like, oh, it's just £10 now, it's just £5 now. Because it looks small instantly. But over a cumulative period of time, that's £9,000. I could have bought a car. If you add long-term thinking, you know that in 4 years, I'll spend £9,000. I could get a car for £6,000 and still have my car in 4 years and have £3,000. This is the way I think nowadays. I'm so guaranteed of glory and success. God keeping us healthy and alive. It's not possible. I can't. There's no way. I found the arc of it. I found it's like a secret. I found it. Long-term thinking. The president of Nigeria currently is had that ambition for more than 20 years. For more than 20 years, he's had that ambition. He got to a point he said, "It is my turn," even though that's another case for another day. It is my turn. 200 million people could not stop him. Genius mature when it is repeatedly stretched under pressure. Many of you are lazy. Let's be honest. I'm busy. I'm busy. You're busy and lazy. It's true. It's true. I'm saying I can't. I go lie for you. I go lie for you. I can't lie to you now. You're lazy. Just come on small 9 to 5 day. Cannot do it. Oh, I can't pick us and this and that, this and that. You're president, though. There's Donald Trump there. He read his speech at UN conference, I think in 2019 or so, that I watched. 60 minutes. He didn't have to read it. He didn't open a book like this. He knows everything going on in the US globally. That's in the 70s. Or you are young. You cannot handle your personal economy and you want more. No. The Bible says something. To him that has, more will be given unto him. To him that has less, what he even has will be taken away from him. Now, time management. I don't have enough time to do the things I'm supposed to do. That time that you don't have, they will take away that small time. Instagram will take it away. TikTok will take it away. Reels will take it away. I have time, and that's why he goes he's like, do you this one even have job? I'm working, but because I want more opportunities, I'm positioning myself. To receive opportunity, you have to be available now. How come you're not available? You're not reachable. You're not accessible, and you want opportunities? It's not possible. I can't lie to you. Sharpen through feedback. If I cook soup in this house, I'm very good cook. For those that don't know, very good. Most of the meals that we cook in the house, I like cooking. People come up like, "Oh, this food is very nice," and I would just laugh that you don't even know I'm the one that made it. But why? I take feedback. My wife, "Oh, why is this soup?" Just as simple as, I'm just using a simple example now. My life, this life, when I'll go to, by the time we're done with it, I'll go ask, how is it like? I'll get feedback from my parents, from people. "Oh, okay, this is how you can do, this is what you can do." But you can't take feedback. Strengthen through execution. I told you we're on live on TikTok now. It took several attempts. We've been trying it for the past 5 months. My VA, she's there with me back end, handling stuff for me back end. We've discovered it yesterday. We've tried it. Yesterday afternoon, I said, "You know what? Just give me access to it." And when we were there on the call, I said, "Let's do it this way. Let's try it this way again." And she was like, "No, it's not possible. There's no stream key." We went live. We don't need the stream key. It was never needed because we've got it. Well, we're checking the wrong thing. But you needed a stream. Someone that can execute. You cannot. That would have said, "We'll give up," but that is not possible. Because she was going to say that after this, we've tried more than 5 attempts. Different months. We've been trying it. I said, "No, it is possible." She knows now that, no, you can't say with Coach Ayo, it's not possible. It's possible. Remove the language of impossibility from your dictionary. Most people want to be seen as brilliant. Few are willing to endure the obscurity required to become brilliant. You have to be hidden for a particular point to read. I read books. I pray. I meditate. You will not see me online. You think I'm current, but sometimes I just zone off. For the moment I want to utilize, I have to invest in myself. Monday evening by 5 p.m. to 8, you will not see me in this room again. I'm in the room with my book and pen, my mentor, learning, writing. I have archives of things. Some of the things I know them, but I have to write it. Footballers train every day, but genius footballers train every time. Look at that. We're live on TikTok, yes. I'm so happy to be live on TikTok, to be honest. I'm so happy. Well, we'll start having TikTok live every now and then. So there'll be YouTube live, there'll be Instagram live, there'll be TikTok live. Footballers train every day, but genius footballers, they train every time. Unlocking your genius status demands positioning. In a borderless world, obscurity is rarely caused by a lack of ability. No, it is often caused by a lack of placement. Now, look at something really important. I want you to pay attention. Genius must be placed in the right environment. You can't zone off now. You will miss a lot if you zone off now. Genius must be placed in the right environment, among the right audience, solving the right problem. Genius is leaving your comfort zone while remaining in your habitat. I went to church sometime, I think last 3 weeks, to go shoot a video content for one of our units. And I did assist them there. And they said, "Oh, you're really, really good. Can't you join us and be doing an announcement in church?" And I said, "No, I can't do it," and all of that. And they were like, "Why?" I said, "No." I said, this is beyond the jurisdiction of my habitat. Yes, I could stretch myself as a comfort zone, but it's not my habitat. Imagine going to tell a fish, "You, this fish, you are too mediocre. Leave this water." And it leaves the water. Guess what? It will die. The fish is only meant to dwell and thrive in the water. But you can say something like, "Fish, be in the water, but go deep down into the ocean." Look at that logic. That's wisdom there. Many of you are leaving your comfort zone, yes, but also leaving your habitat. Leave your comfort zone, but remain in your area of habitat. If you are a good creative designer, what are you doing in tech or a different traditional enterprise? They say Messi is the god of football. Messi is the god of football. Look at that. They didn't say he's the god over everything. God of football. What is your own of? You cannot see Coach Ayola and say you have not heard about mediocrity, about personal development, about leadership. That's me. If you take me to healthcare, I mean, move on, but that's not my habitat. And that was the decision I had to make. That I cannot play to the genius status here because this is beyond the scope of my habitats. I could stretch, but I'll struggle. That's the major catch today. Go on, your major activity you are doing right now, maybe your job, your academics, your career, is this attuned with your habitats? Or is it away from your habitat? Not your comfort zone now. Comfort zone is universal, but habitat is specific. Anybody that lives now is going to miss a lot. Comfort zone, living comfort zone is universal. Everybody is meant to leave the comfort zone to strive. For example, if it's in the water, you go deep. If it's on air, you go farther. If it's on land, you travel far. But you can't leave your habitat. A car cannot say, because I want to fly, I go on air. It's going to crash. They call it crash land. A ship cannot say, "Oh, because Coach Ayola said I need to aspire to be great, to become a genius, I'm flying on air, I'm going to the moon." What's that? It can't even happen. It's nothing. It's not built in him. You're trying to do things that is not built inside of you. There's no operating system for the result you want. Like this phone that is here, okay? I cannot expect it to function like an iPhone. It doesn't have the operating system. Also, what's your operating system? Is it in tune with what you are currently doing now? You must be around your areas of expertise. Look at King Saul in the Bible. He left this area of jurisdiction. He was a king. He was not a priest. He was not a priest. He went to sacrifice. He was judged. He became a non-entity. He became ordinary because he left his area of habitat. The king stays in palace. The king does not stay on the mountains or where they are sacrificing to God, the place of worship. King are in the palaces. He went there. He didn't wait for Samuel. Samuel came back and said, "If only you have waited, by now I'd have established your kingdom forever. Just a single impulsive decision because he played outside the zone of habitats. So now, because I'm trying to speed up now, where you position determines your visibility. It determines who sees you. Yes. That's why sometimes it can appear like this question is flamboyant. It's intentional. Look at you. I'm currently speaking with one of my aunties in church about some new designs for my caps, checking new suits. What is inside has to match what is outside. You have to position yourself. It determines who sees you. Visibility now determines opportunity. What access and platform you have. I'm getting paid for. Before I was doing free mentorship, they didn't even. That's what I need. Of course, now I hardly give free advice anymore because I'm not just doing damage to myself, but to them because they can't value it. It's, of course, I have it written down on my archive. It's an injustice to give value at no cost. Even salvation was given at the cost of the blood of Jesus Christ. That's what makes seats salvation. So visibility determines opportunity, access, platforms. Now, the opportunity you get determines the leverage, the results you produced, your outcome in life. Look at that. It's so simple. Position. Where you position yourself determines your visibility. Who sees you? Who sees you determines the kind of platform and access you have. And the kind of platform you have determines the results you produce. And that's why I'm positioning myself for a bigger platform. I can't make the mistake I made many years ago. And I'm saying it now. Build. Those days when I was 5 years ago, I was going for conferences in the UN. I'll go as a delegate. I'll go as an observer. I'll get Blue Zone badge. I'll meet presidents. I've met president, I think the president of France, Prime Minister of France, Emmanuel Macron. I've met Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. I've met the late Muhammad Buhari. I've met senators. I've met different people. When you meet them, you know the funniest thing, you can even collect their number. We try to lobby, collect number. I've met Sawaki's wife, collect number. I will message nothing. You don't have any sense of value. You've not built. The game of greatness is about platforms, access, legacy, building. So I said, I'm going to go back to the US space, but now, not as an observer, as a stakeholder, I'm aligning Prime Council with the SD goal, quality education. Where do we come in? Guiding the next generation of leaders in quality education. Bringing revolution to education. That's where I am. That's what we're doing. We work on the website for 2 weeks. The website design, I don't know if it's on session this evening. He called me this afternoon for advice. He said, I have to win. He said, look at that. He just came to work, but he saw that this guy doesn't joke. Oh. No. Even if it's small dots, I will tell you because I'm playing to global standard. I'm not playing because I want to sell to you because you won't see it. I'm playing because I know that great kings will see it. We did iteration. I'm not saying you're a perfectionist, but you should be a perfectionist anyways. Be a perfectionist, yes. A hidden genius remains an underutilized resource. Like I said, no man light the candle and put it on the bushel. Many are in the bushel. Now, however, even positioning, I've said, will not compensate for absence of structure. That's the next point now. Structure. You have to bring structure. You cannot be living life haphazardly. I have rhythm. My reply time for my phone, whether it's phone call or is almost immediate or less than 12 hours. If you send me email now, we'll see it. Me that I'm looking for opportunities. You send email, you take 3 days. Look at you. I was speaking to one of my mentees, sent email or something, and said he did not see. I said, God, your journey is still far. Have you not heard many people have lost opportunities because they didn't open their emails? I'm so expectant of opportunities. I check my emails. I'm open. Today, God of heaven. Let me just leave that. Do you know what it takes to be great? Do you know what it takes? All the people you've seen that are great, there's an illusion. You think it's just easy. They just did one or two. There's an illusion, and that's why great people, they like to be underrated. It's a lot of hard work, of structure to be great. That if you choose a horse, is beggars will ride. It looks easy on the outside. Go and start the work. You want to build a brand. Go and, you see what we're facing at Prime Council. Joel, one of my long-time mentees, said he started his own brand also, No Edge, for data analytics. I did post it, free data analytics training. Some people saw it. They did not apply. They don't know anything about Excel. Oh. Me, as his mentor, I applied. Ask him there. God is my witness. I applied as a normal student. I joined the classes. How are they Sundays? Maybe it's on a live session. I applied. And I'm learning because I said I need to update my data analytics skills. Data is what is reigning now. AI and data and AI. But you're not hearing that. You don't have to use Excel. You want to be a world changer. In a fast-moving environment, the ability to execute consistently is more valuable than sporadic brilliance. Your degree of my mentee, we had session yesterday. I told him that yes, you're preparing for the corporate world, but now start putting your house in order, bring structure. If your manager asks you, can you Donald, can you send me this link? Don't be looking for the link everywhere. Have a structure, have your tracker out. I showed him my book. I write our daily tasks. I write it on what I do. I showed him for like 3 months. I showed him that it's not as if I'm saying do it. I'm not doing. I'm doing that. I know it because you can just ask, Ayola, can you send me this thing? Imagine I don't have it. You will not beat me. But be like, who is this kind of person? Before you know, they judge you. Like you're an average person. Structure. Have a tracker. I have tracker for Prime Council. We have everything. We've been building a lot of structure recently. Of course, we didn't start with structure. We started by just building. As with any foundation, you start by just building. You dig in, scattering. A point must come in your life. You build structure to your life, to your time, to your energy, to your resources. Many people are inspired but not organized. They are visionary but not consistent. You don't know what it takes to be coming up live every month. We have 2 live sessions every month. Masterclass coming up. We have mentees. We have the cohorts. It's a lot of work, but it's even the maximum work. There are people doing greater things. Why will I gaslight myself and say I'm doing work? I have to increase my capacity. You have to be consistent. Consistency. It's really important to be consistent. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary, it's extra. Look at something. I want you to start that when you receive that. Faithfulness in small things is a big thing indeed. Faithfulness in small things is a big thing indeed. The Bible says in the book of, I think, Luke or something, whosoever is faithful in little. He said, if you're unfaithful in unrighteous mammon, Luke 16, verse 16 or verse 11, who shall commit unto you true riches? Little things of life. How do you take care of your house? My wife knows. My wife is there. God bears me witness. This house must be clean. I said, you want to buy house. He has given you opportunity to rent house and you're not taking care of it. No, not me. You clean everywhere. You clean everywhere. With wipes. Yes, you do it. Because you are cultivating an habit of being excellent. I have my notes here that I'm using. Everything is color-coded for my emphasis. I didn't just say because I'll be reading it. Before I used to use slides, because I didn't want to project it anymore. If not, I've had my slides ready. You have to be organized in little things. Take care of yourself, your personal grooming. How can you be a guy? You don't comb your hair, These things are very important. A lady was telling me in church that a guy was messaging her, but she's already made a judgment because they met somewhere. They met somewhere and they were in a group. just for like 2-3 minutes. And the way he spoke, she just made a judgment that no, she can't deal with this guy. Even though it might not be that he's not intelligent or very serious, but because he didn't know that every day you're selling perception money. And I've said it many times. You have to always be at your best self. You cannot say this is how I am. Oh, they will judge you. They will wrong perception. And she said she's not going to reply the message again. I said, wow, sorry for the guy. He lost that kind of beautiful girl that would have benefited his life just by gross negligence. Something little. Do you know the funniest thing? God is my witness. That day, I was in that group. I was not even part of it. That was on campus. I'm not a student. But do you know I went, when the youth pastor was, when the speaker was speaking about the group, I went to sit down with other students to participate. I was even engaging with them. That's just because it's a nature. It's a nature. You have to engage. You have to be involved. You can't be passive. You can't be passive. How can the genius be passive? I do to my team members. You cannot say to do something. I say, no, I didn't do it. No. Move from being passive to becoming active. Or people stop there. No, there's another step. Proactive. We have the campus fellowship event on Thursday. Everything we need is already ready. Before God and man, what we use in terms of the refreshment, I was packing it today with my daughter. Because it's not Thursday morning and I'll be rushing. And what did I... No way. We're going far. We're going far. Little assignment that God has given you can't fulfill. They said you're a global champion. Lead small prayer point. You now hold the mic like this. A 30-year-old man, Father Lord, oh God of heaven. You will watch your mates preach to you, speak to you, teach you, and you pay them for that. Because you don't want to develop yourself. Now, I'm getting to the end, yeah. So genius becomes status when it's predictable. Predictable excellence is what earns trust. Trust is what generates influence. Influence, when you're popular, when you're known, is what generates income and impact. You cannot be impactful if you're not even known. The Bible says something, I think in First Corinthians something, I've forgotten now. It's a year living epistles, known and read of all men. That's where we want to get to. Our light so shine before men that they see God's good work in my life, and there's global relevance. I believe in global relevance. I believe that I'll get to the top. I believe that I'll have transitional impact. I believe that all my works will outlive me. There's legacy. I believe that I can't die small. There's Nelson Mandela, that his work is still speaking. Long go to freedom. That's in there. It is possible. You can't die being a mediocre. Just by you have in the UK, you just have one small house, pay money for 30 years. No. SPM 1.0 trust. What the last personal class was built. They trust her again. Not because of the brand in itself, but because of my personal brand. They trusted Coach Ayo, not just because of my habits today, but my character over time. People came from Coventry, from Birmingham, from Luton. We're going to Luton SPM 2.0. Admin, can you share the flyer for the SPM 2.0? Let's just see it. That's it there. We have space for 60 people. For those of my audience in Luton, it's all live there. The QR code is there. The website is ready. Landing page, the pay, everything is ready to register. We are coming to invade Luton with that transformative message. You must make it. It's a must. You cannot play small. You have to quit the hustle mentality, the hustle culture, the shift syndrome. Now, the shift syndrome is what is killing many people now. From even thinking about purpose, about legacy, about impact, about thriving. You have to break away from that rat race, and I'm here to help you, but you have to register. Thank you, admin. Thank you, admin. as we begin to conclude, the message for the black race in first world countries, listen to me carefully, listen to me attentively. This was a carryover from the previous webinar, but I said it will be an injustice not to share this truth with you as my audience. I want us to grow together, to get to the top together. Vision is easy. Vision is the easiest and cheapest ticket to break away from the immigrant status label. I just saw on the news. That there's a protest in, I think, Manchester. They're speaking about immigrant. It's a label. I saw the news. One of this I saw on the news that someone was saying that immigrants, they take all their money that they made in the UK and send it back to their country, that they've sent 24.5 billion pounds back to their home countries and all of that. And there was that, of course, trend. I was just looking at it and I was like, these people say these things, but they were not speaking about the fact that many immigrants, foreign students, bring in billions, several hundreds of billions of pounds in terms of school fees, resources, visa money, IHS to the UK. But no one is speaking about that because at the end of the day, there's no ownership. It's not your country now. That's why I don't really complain. I just maximize what is available to me and make the best out of it and break away from the system. The system is meant to control you. This is for those in first world countries in US, in Canada, in UK. Listen carefully. A vision is the easiest and cheapest ticket to break away from the immigrant status label. If you have vision, God, I'm saying what I'm living. Look at something. Africans built pyramid hundreds of years before the Western civilization thought of building palaces. Yes, in Egypt, in Ethiopia. So what happened? The major problem was comfort zone and succession issues. You see that everything I'm saying all linked together. There was a message that spoke to the parents. Think about your future, your legacy. That's the easiest way. It's not about I must work, I must build out. Train your child in the way she go, so that when you are old, you will not depart. That's what happened to Africa. Africa did not train, and that's what we're doing to Gen Zs. How many people are organizing webinars for young people? They'll say young people know they pay money. No, they are the future leaders. When God gave me the vision for Prime Council, because the anchor scripture was Genesis 17 verse 6, he said, I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. He said, nations shall come out of thee. Kings and nobles shall come out of thee. And I thought maybe God would begin to connect me, which I know he will, to people in power now. But he said, no, you're not starting your journey. You have to build with your current generation. Who are they? People that can't really pay me for my services. People in Nigeria, people in the UK, they don't have money and all of that. But I give selflessly. Always willing to share, to give, to help. That's me. If you know me, because there's a mandate. I'm going to become counselors for kings in a few years' time. You're going to mark my words. Invest in your children. Invest in young people. If you're opportunity, if you're empowered, sponsor a person for Vision Clarity Call now, for mentorship session with me. Your child, your children. Not because of the money generally, but because you want to be able to invest. The problem with Africa was comfort zone and succession issues. For example, the Bible said, there arose a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. Joseph brought the Israelites to Egypt. But at a point in time, Joseph died. The same way parents will die. One day if they go get old, you can't be here forever. Prepare for when you will not be there. And I'm saying that, I don't know why I'm saying this. No successor for Joseph because the Israelites were comfortable. They had no vision for the future. They were just there, were like, oh, our brother is Joseph now. The same what has happened to many people. My brother is in the city. My son has traveled out to UK. No plan for the family. No plan for yourself as a sibling. The resultant effects, slavery and servitude. That's what happened in the Bible. But that's what's happening now. No one was raised to be in the policy room to be a producer. They only did premium consumption. They were consuming free food, the best food, but they were not taught. They didn't learn. They didn't see that Joseph was the one in charge of the products of the food. They didn't want to learn that. Okay, what's the strategy behind it? They only consumed, and that's what Africa is now. Consumption. They dump gadgets, innovations, technologies to Africa because we're a consumption continent and economy. No policy was enacted for sustainability and legislation for continuity. They only enjoy the privileges of Joseph, but not his mindset. Sometimes I speak to my sibling and say, no, you can't just say you want my money. No, the mindset that produces money is what will help you. Not just the outcome, not just the currency of it, but the mindset of it. Black parents, now listen to me carefully now. Carefully. I just hope we're still here. We're closing soon. I want to see a comment that was still here. I want to see comments that was still here on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Thank you very much. Black parents, invest heavily in the mindset of your children. That is their sure bet to move from an immigrant to becoming a global citizen. The biggest asset you can give to your children is a rich and positive mindset. I'm not going to speak too much on that because I'm going to give you too much than you paid for. I know you're paying attention, but that's too low for this part of it. If you want more, if you want to know what's going on, especially in terms of children upbringing, you have to pay for it. I'm telling you the truth. It can't be on a platter of gold. I can't believe that you're hearing this. You're based in the UK and you will not enroll your children for mentorship. You're in Luton, you will not come for the SP Masterclass. That's a great injustice to your destiny. That's you telling your destiny that you're not ready for a great future. I'm telling you the truth. Growth mindsets. Yeah. Beliefs, abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Embraces challenges. Persists through obstacles. Learns from criticism. Finds inspiration in other success. These things are what has been lacking in Africa. People have moved from Africa. They've come to Europe, to America, but African mindset is still in them. They are still training their children on African philosophies and mindset. Am I saying forget your cultural heritage? No, I'm saying you need to positively adapt. I was telling one of my mentees, said, yeah, you have to adapt. What does that mean? Don't go and say, hey, this and speaking like Yoruba, one thing, or adapt. But does that mean neglect who you are, your identity? No. People say like the F word. Don't say that. That's positive, but you can say, no, I can't say that. Adapt. Go out, be exposed. Go for orchestra. Go and learn badminton. Go for swimming. Do I say go to the pub and go and take shisha? No. Positive rebellion there. Or positive compromise. Adapt. Expose your children. The people that are really thriving as black race in European economies, in American economy, are those that invested in sports, for example. And that's why there's been that outrage of the project Mbappe. Everybody now is taking their children on Saturdays and Sundays for football. That's really good. But there are other things, because that part will also be overcrowded, isn't it? How many players can play in the pitch? 22 players. But the other parts, but you need people like me to expose you to it. So I want to see you book a Vision Clarity Course. Be my DM. What do I need to do? I don't want to give birth. I don't want to train a mediocre child. I'm here for this. One of my mentees, when I met him, he was at 0, flat, passive, mediocre, nothing. Within 12 weeks, if you see him now, I said, of course, I knew this. You cannot have an encounter with me. And this is to the glory of God, because God has put his treasures in us as earthen vessels. But based on what I know, back end, I cannot meet you one-on-one for 12 weeks and your life can be the same. It's an aberration. It can't happen that I engage with you. No. No. So if you're serious, admin, can you put the Vision Clarity Call link on the flyer? Thank you. Fixed mindset. Believes abilities are static and unchangeable, avoids challenges, gives up easily, sees effort as fruitless, ignores useful feedback, and feels strengthened by other success. Do we have that, admin? I said that scripture, Psalm 127, verse 3 to 4. Children and the heritage of the Lord, the fruit of the womb is reward, as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man. It takes a mighty parent to raise mighty children. So for those that are young parents, no, you can't even. That will be gross misconduct to your children, for you not to personally develop, for you not to know what's happening in their own context. Don't be speaking like an old parent and say, "This in my days." What your days are gone. These are the days now. Experience is what has worked. Inspiration, inspired wisdom is what will work. Because there's that fight on, experience, I know more than you. But in today's world, there are many outdated knowledge. You need to update your operating system as a parent. As a young parent, you should launch your children as arrow to create impact and cause effect. But it only takes an intentional and mighty parent to launch their children as arrows. As of now, many people are launching their children as plates. Go and bring food for us. I'm training to school to take care of us. So what? The Bible says, look at the Bible. It said a good man, a wise man, leaves an inheritance for not just his children's children. You are waiting for your children to give you inheritance, but the Bible said you're a Christian. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Protection is different from restriction. Hear that clearly, because these are feedbacks from the people interface with. These are fundamental issues I've seen. Because identity is not just formed by being caged. You have to have an expand worldview to find your place in it. Protection is different from restriction. I've spoken to a few parents. They say my child is still young. The child is still young. What he's doing with his phone, he's not young. Continue. Just to be able to sort of say, get the hell out. You say he's still young and all of that. But what they are doing, what we hear young children do nowadays, is not young. They are not small. They are not as small as you think. Don't jinx it. As a young parent, as a matured parent. I have something here on modern slavery, choice and focus. Who is a slave? A slave is the one that has derived his identity from another and has no choice, will, and freedom of ownership. Hence, he cannot pursue purpose or an independent agenda. It links back to genius. Is either you're a genius or you're a slave. You cannot be in the middle. And who is a slave? Is the one that has no sense of identity. He derives his identity, his sense of ownership of identity from his owner. He has no choice, will. That sounds like those that do jobs that they don't want to do because they are compelled to do it by the system. You're a slave to the system. I have to tell you the truth. The truth hurts. But there's a way out if only you first of all accept, like I said, awareness of it, but also taking intentional action. And that's why for those in Luton, you need to be at the SPM Masterclass. The same scenario is repeating itself. This time, not just forceful slavery, like slave trade that happened centuries ago, but now willful systemic slavery. The hustle culture in third world countries, hustling. Slave to the system. The shift syndrome in diaspora, in UK, in US, shit. It's true. And I said it, time is the biggest currency in the European system. In first world country, in America, time. That's why they will pay you triple pay, double pay on the days that are most important to you, Christmas, New Year, Easter, bank holidays, those are days you should be resting. Those are days that should be for family time. They would rather take that time from you and give you more money. You think they're not smart? They are smart. No business works at running at a loss, isn't it? But they know that on the long run, they'll still gain more. Even if they part away with triple pay than you think you're going to get more. Of course, the tax man is there. So now we find many people, especially young parents that I know around me in the UK, in US, over investing in their career, under compensating in their family and relationships. It's really important to think about these things. People are doing what they don't want to do but have to do because they have to survive. They lack sustainable choice. Honestly, the kind of choices I've been able to make since I broke away from that, I called HMRC. And it's not as if this is the first time I'm doing it. I did it in Nigeria. I resigned from a job in 2 weeks. People were like, "How is it? My parents are here." I said, "No, I'd rather be broke and have time to think like a leader, to be strategic." Those were days I read for 8 hours. It's those periods I'm trading with now. Now I read books, but not as, I have many things going on. Is it now to be doing the fundamentals? The Bible said in Hebrews 6 verse 1, I haven't laid the foundation. Let us go on to other things. Some of you now, because you don't have the foundation, you want to do other things. There is no foundation to carry it because you have wasted your years and time. And that's what the enemy steals. He doesn't steal life. Yes, he steals and kills and destroys, but one of the things he does is to steal years. That they will steal the years that the cankerworm, the caterpillar. Don't allow the system to steal your years. Say, redeem time, for the days are evil. I'm redeeming time. I want you to redeem time. Our parents lived in the job economy, certificates. BSc, they will have a job. The last 10 years were the gig economy, freelance, contract, Now we're in the creators economy, ownership and production. You have to produce. That's why you need to have a personal brand. But if you fly from this call and say, have a personal brand, you just open LinkedIn page, Instagram page, TikTok page, talking, you will know many people have gone, they're falling. You must personally develop if you want to build legacy. Many people they are popular now. They are building personal brand, but it's not legacy, it's not impact, it's not purpose. Going on streams, doing different things. No. You can't. They'll go off the radar. People have come and gone, but only the genius remain. Start building it now. Don't wait for access. Create leverage so you can be needed rather than being needy. We're closing now. So I've got a closing question for you this evening, my audience. Got a closing question for you this evening. The question is not whether you have the genius status in you. The question is, will you activate it intentionally? Will you activate it intentionally? Will you invest in depth? You have to be deep. You have to be a deep thinker while other people scroll. Oh, we don't read books again. Just 2 minutes views. I can't watch 10 minutes content. Oh. Genius. Generational impact. Leader. 2 minutes views. Will you refine your craft while others complain? I told you I'm learning. This month ending, I'm starting another license course. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not saying this. I'm saying what I'm doing. Can't you see the results? Me myself, I feel it. That I'm not the same as at January now. No. We're going to pay for that. Coaching license. I have to start speaking to multi-million dollars organizations. I need to be prepared. One of my friends said, no, I need to connect with my friend that's working in the World Bank. And I said, no, I can't go unprepared again. I've learned my lesson. You can't go to this place unprepared. I had to go mobilize some funds. We are working on a state-of-the-art website that meets global standard. We're using Voices templates, great people templates, combining together, working back end, having the websites, our products and services, thanks to my VA, thanks to all my team members at Prime Council, stretching because we are building a brand. I myself, as a partner, am building myself, refining myself. Build systems while others chase applause. Will you build systems while others chase applause? Will you discipline your mind while others entertain distractions? Trends, reels, different things going on. Oh, I'm bad, different things. Does that mean you should not be social? No. That you'll be mediocre to not be social. You should be social. You should go out. Yes, that's part of being aware, getting knowledge. But there's you going out for fun, but there's you going out for knowledge. Even in fun, even when I watch football, I've told you, know something about everything and know everything about something. Area of expertise, your career, your degree, your work, but also area of passion. Some football, I told my mentee, you have to start watching football. Go play a sport, go out, because you need that orientation and exposure. You can't be that naive. But does that mean that's what you'll be doing all this of your life? You'll be going out to watch? No. Moderation and balance there. Unlocking your genius status requires courage. Yes, many people are fearful. That's why you need to be connected to someone that's taking that step. There's a story that came to mind now. Caleb in the Bible. Do you guys read your Bible? Because I don't know. I've never seen anyone say this before. I was reading the Bible and I saw that Caleb said at 80 years, "Give me this mountain, oh Lord." Isn't it? As it was the days of my youth, it was 80 years. Give me this mountain. He was saying that you'd have thought, wow, this guy is courageous. No. Caleb was never courageous. Mark my words. Take that to your pastor. Go and research it. He was confident. He was confident because he saw Moses lead that revolution out of Egypt. Caleb was in Egypt when they were in slavery. Why did he not go and confront Pharaoh? No courage. And I've told you, you need courage to take the first step. But after you take the first step, the second step, the third step, you become confident. Many of you want to feel confident before taking the first step. No, you need courage. You need to be a trailblazer and a pathfinder. So many of the things that will make you become genius are not what is even really existing now. It will either be an innovation or an invention. Bringing something new out of something or enhancing a process or a system. You cannot conform. So zero conformity. It has to be an innovation, advancing an existing system, enhancing the existing system, or inventing a new system, being a disruptor. Caleb was confident because there's obvious sight of results. He's seeing them cross the Red Sea, live out of Egypt, and all of that. He said, "Now give me the mountain, O Lord." He was there in Egypt when they were slaves. Moses was not there. He was in the wilderness. Where he came, rescued them out. He was courageous. So Moses is courageous. Caleb was confident. So peradventure you're a Caleb, that you need someone that's courageous in front of you. I'm here for you. There's nothing you want to achieve. You bring it to my table. You will get tired of how I will even stretch you to the next level. That's me. This is not today I've been doing it. No. You can't bring an idea to me and I see failure, because my mind has been conditioned to be optimistic, first of all. It requires rejecting mediocrity, even when it is socially acceptable. It requires standards that exceed convenience. You know what it takes to run live stream monthly? How much it costs? It requires humility to learn and the boldness to act. We're going for SPM 2.2 in Luton. Nobody has registered today. We will launch this today. But I'll mark my words, we'll fill the auditorium. Because we've learned, we did 35 to 40 in SPM 1.2. We're exceeding the numbers again, double the amount. And you keep on increasing the bar because you're acting on it. The website this time it's premium. You go check it there. The QR code is there. If the admin can put the QR code there, We worked on it for 2 weeks. If you can't become a genius, if you have said, okay, this is not for me, I'm a parent, when will I even start? At least make a genius come out of you. David was told by God, you can't build a temple, but he didn't stop there. He gathered all the materials, everything that was needed, and he said, my son Solomon will build it. And as a result of that action, he was able to get a transgenerational blessing. God said, you will always have somebody on the throne because you built a house for me. Parents, be strategic. Thank you very much, guys. I just hope I've been able to be of value to you. I've been able to expose you to becoming a genius. It's in you. I'm not the one going to give you. It's already in you. I'm just here to unlock it like a palm oil that sleeps. I'm here. I'm here to bring that heat through my voice, through the information, to ignite that fire in you that awakens the sleeping giant in you. Remember that without force, without you shouting, without action, Jesus Christ can be in your boat. But if you don't call for help, if you don't insist on it, you can perish. Thank you very much, guys, and see you next month. Admin, can we have the flyers?
Growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens when potential is challenged, refined, and given a voice. 1 year ago, Prime Council was founded with a clear mission to develop leaders, strengthen confidence, and unlock growth from within. We believe leadership is not about position, but about influence, clarity, and courage. Through public speaking and personal development, we help individuals grow into their capacity, communicate with purpose, and lead with conviction. We are a movement that motivates growth, builds confidence and turns fear into fuel. This is Prime Council, 1 year in, and we are only getting started.
In January 2025, Prime Council officially emerged as an organization, but its story began earlier. What started in 2024 as a simple WhatsApp community became a movement, a growing space committed to transforming the mindset, capacity, and leadership posture of young people. By April 2025, that vision was formally established as Prime Council Limited, a UK-based organization with a clear mandate to raise and guide value-driven leaders across every sphere of influence. In January 2025, we hosted our first monthly webinar. By December 2025, we had successfully delivered 12 monthly webinars alongside 3 Instagram Live leadership conversations and 1 dedicated skills training session for our volunteers, equipping both our audience and internal team with tools for growth and execution. Recognizing the need for deeper, personalized transformation, Prime Council expanded its offerings in August 2025 with the launch of the Vision Clarity Call and one-on-one mentorship sessions, providing strategic guidance, accountability, and clarity to individuals navigating purpose, career, and leadership decisions. December 2025 marked a significant milestone. We hosted our first physical training series, the Strategic Positioning Masterclass, in Birmingham, United Kingdom. With over 35 emerging leaders and early career professionals in attendance, the session created an environment of learning, strategy, and transformation, reinforcing Prime Council's commitment to tangible, real-world impact. Behind the scenes, growth was happening as well. Our team expanded fourfold, growing from 2 to 8 dedicated members, significantly increasing productivity, collaboration, and delivery capacity. This growth reflects not just numerical expansion, but a strengthening of systems, structure, and shared vision. Throughout this journey, Prime Council has remained anchored to excellence at global and godly standards, guided by our foundational pillars: impact, influence, income. As part of our commitment to accessible transformation, we also launched our first digital product, the Prime Council Personal Development Guide, now available on our website. This resource serves as a practical framework for individuals seeking clarity, structure, and intentional growth. Prime Council is more than an organization. It is a platform, a pipeline, and a purpose-driven movement. And this is only the beginning.
Thank you for watching. We are sure you have been truly empowered and inspired to take the next step forward.
To connect with us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Prime Council for our video resources. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Prime Council _.
Prime Council, guiding next generation leaders.
Every dream is possible when you have the right vision, strategy, and the right guide. Your growth is not a chance, it's a choice. It's time to invest in your growth.
Prime Council across the media space, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, is now launching its services.
Vision Clarity Call, one-on-one counseling and mentorship, profit from Scripture Masterclass, and leadership training. To access our services, visit our Instagram page and click the link in our bio. Select Get Our Services and choose your desired service on the website and register for the Strategic Positioning Masterclass, coming up on the 20th of December 2025. The slot is filling so fast.